Hello all of you. In this video we will discuss about arrays chapter. So first of all we need to know what is an array. Array is a collection of data items or values of same data type that are referred by a single name. That means in the previous chapters we have discussed about the data or variable initialization, variable declaration, how to handle the variables, how to write the program using constructor and methods, everything we have discussed, is it? Yes. Especially if you want to declare a variable, you know how to declare by the data type and the variable name, then terminate with semicolon. If it is an initialization purpose or initialization case means how we will do a variable, yes, example integer means integer a equal to 5. This is a initialization way, is it? This you know. Okay, just consider if we want to store marks of 20 students. Marks of 20 students. So how will you handle this data? In this case, marks of 20 students, it is very difficult. We can write like this. We have to declare integer m1 mark or student 1, not m1, student 1, s1, then s2. Like this we can write till 20, sir. But it's very difficult to, or we can tell this is a tedious job when you are writing in a single individual variable. So in the case of huge amount of data, we will use the concept array. That means these all the data, 20 marks, marks of 20 students are saved under a single name. That is known as array. Array means it is a collection of data items of same data type. It is a collection of data items of the same data type. Okay, so here is it possible to assign a variable? In a single variable we can give different 20 or 25 marks. Is it possible? No, this is an invalid statement, is it? Yeah, this is an invalid statement, we can't write it. So I want to store, or we are handling the huge amount of data using the concept array. Array means it is a collection of data items of same data type that are referred by a single name. And in the case of arrays, it occupies a continuous memory location. Like it starts from the position 0. Example a of 20, marks of 20. It's not a, marks of 20. That means 20 students mark we need to store. So yes. So it will occupy 20 space here in this memory under the single name, that is marks of. And array is indicated with the square bracket. In a single variable we will declare like this in the a semicolon, but in the case of array means we have to declare like declare or specify with the square brackets. Int marks of. Okay. So always this array index, the position, that is known as the index, starts from 0th position. So the second one is 1, 3rd, 2, 4, like this it will go. From the position start, or the index value of array starts from 0th position. 0 is the index value. And here in this cell, we are just filling or giving any value as an marks means this is the element of an array. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is the index of the array and 51 is the element of an array, element of the first array, element of the 0th position. Then 55, this is the first position value means 55, 58, like this values are fitting. Okay. So arrays means, or an array is a collection of items or values of same data type that are referred by a single name. An array creates continuous memory location to store actual values of variable. Each memory location of array stores only one value. The value stored in the memory location is known as element of an array. Okay. Then there are two types of array. One is single dimensional array, second one is a multi-dimensional array. First one is a single dimensional array. Single dimensional array means it creates continuous memory location up to a finite limit to store data items. A finite limit is there, that is we are specifying the size of the array, 20 marks. or marks of 20 students. There we are giving a size of the array is 20, like that. Okay, that's why it creates continuous memory location up to a finite limit to store data items. And the basic, or we can tell this is a syntax to write a single dimension array. What's the syntax? Type, array name. This type is indicated as base type. This type is known as base type. Actually, what is base type? Base type means the particular data type. What is the base type of an array? It is the corresponding data type that we have declared in the array. Okay. So this type, array name, square brackets equal to new type of size of the array. Inside the square bracket we are writing size of the array. So the array is given a name and its elements are referred to by their subscripts or indices. The element numbers in that particular square bracket are called subscripts or indices, and the subscript or index of an element designates its position in the array's model. Okay, so just to look how to declare an array. If you want to declare the marks of 20 students means that marks means that is an integer value. That's why we are declaring with the int marks square bracket equal to, what is the next one? Keyword new. New is the keyword we are using to allocate the memory. Is it? Yes, new. Then int of what is the maximum size we need? Size of the array, that is 20. So it will, that means in the memory it will allocate a space for this array named as marks having how many values? 20 values. 20 elements will be there in this array. And what is the index position? What is the starting? What value is the starting of index position? Yeah, index position starts with 0, 1, 2, like what is the final value? 0 to 19 is the position, is it? 0 to size minus 1. So for array with the 20 element subscripts means, or 20 element subscripts are 0 to 19. That is the position. Okay, 0 to 19 position. How many elements? 20 elements. Okay, 20 elements. Just to consider this one is 0 to 20 is there. Okay. Okay, so this is the syntax of declaring an array. Data type, array name, square bracket equal to new data type of size of array. Inside the square brackets we are representing the size of the array. For that, one more example here. Roll number. We need to store 5 roll numbers of integer data type. So how will you write? Int roll number square bracket equal to new int of 5. Inside the square bracket we have given 5. We can write this declaration in 3 ways. This is the first one. First one we will give roll number then square bracket. In the second way we can write the square brackets or the subscript should represent near the data type, integer or the data type int square brackets roll number equal to new int of 5. Or in the third way we can write, first we will declare it like in a single variable. How will you declare? The same way we are declaring. Then in the next step we are assigning using that just writing with the new keyword. Okay, roll number equal to new int of 5. So these are the 3 ways to declare arrays. So if you want to declare marks of 5 marks of 5 students. So how will you write? Integer, just I am giving m square bracket equal to new int of, have to remember here we are just writing integer. Here what we have specified here, the data type has to write here, int of 5. This is one way. In another way how we can write, we have to specify the subscript in that data type, then space variable array name equal to new int of, the size should be specified at the last index. Okay, last is that is new. In another way we can write integer m of, that is m subscript semicolon, in the next line m equal to new int of that particular size. Maximum, this size is indicating how many elements can hold in that particular array, that is indicating by the size. Okay, so these are the three ways we will declare an array. So here one example, declaration of 5 integer marks. So int marks of equal to new int of 5. This one we can write in another way also, that is have to assign that subscript here, just mark the square brackets before the variable name, array variable name, equal to new int of 5. These are the two ways we can write it. Array declaration. The first one of marks square bracket, the second one we are just taking the subscript after the data type or the base type. Okay. So when an array when the array declaration or an array must be declared or created before it can be used. There are two-step process for this array declaration. Actually, this cases includes two-step process. Here we have written in a single statement. This is the first way, one way, and this is the second way. In these two cases, two ways we can declare the array, and these two ways consist of two-step process. What are the two-step process? First we will declare an array. That is, first we are declare a reference to an array. So we can write int marks of. So this is indicating that a reference. That means it is a collection of a group name of the group. We can tell this is a group name or it is a reference. Okay. Then in the next step, what we are doing? Next step, we are creating the object, array object. Marks equal to new int of the number of maximum elements we can accommodate, that we have to specify. So these two-step process, that is the first one, we are creating a reference. That is, we can just tell we are declaring a reference to an array. The reference is indicated by the group name, is it? Yeah. The next one, second one, the create the array by the keyword. With which keyword we are creating an array object? New. New is the keyword to create an array object. So these two consist of. So we can tell this is the reference to a int marks. Marks is indicating, mark is the array variable and it is indicating that is an integer data type. And in the next statement, array of 5 integer values created and the reference is stored in marks variable. Reference is stored in marks variable. These are the two-step process included in the declaration of array. Instead of these two statements, we can write any one statement. So these are the three ways we have to declare an array. So how to declare? At first we can write this way, first way, that is subscript here. The second one, we are indicating that subscript near to the data type. The third way, we can write in 2 lines or 2 steps. First, we are declaring the array with the reference or creating an array reference. Second one, we are just creating an array object using the new keyword. These 3 are valid for the array declaration. Actually, in the first and second step, 2 steps are included. This third step is included in this first and second step. Okay. So what are the 3 ways to declare an array? So in some questions will be there for 2 mark. Integer, is it valid or not? Identify valid array declaration statements. So is it valid or not? Let's see. One example. This is a question number 1. In the question number 2, here b equal to new int of 3. Then in the next question, integer a semicolon a equal to new int of 5. So in these 3 questions, in these 3 options, which are the valid array declaration statement? All of you know, first one is valid because subscript is given after the array name, is it? Second one is also valid because this is included in 2-step process. First declaration, the reference, the next one is the creating the array object. So these 2 are valid. Yes. Third one means only single array declaration. It's not indicating as an array. It is indicating as a single variable. So it is not valid. So that third statement is not valid. First and second is valid. Array declaration statement. Okay, next one is the memory representation of single dimensional array. The elements are stored in a contiguous memory location in their index order. So as an example here, you can take the same integer marks of, that is m. I am just giving an array name m equal to new int of 5. That means this array can accommodate or hold 5 elements. And the index position start from 0 to n minus 1, that is 0 to 4 subscripts are there for this particular array. So how it will be represented in the memory representation? So integer, what is a how many bytes are occupied by an integer variable? That you have to learn. You know that. How many bytes are occupied by this integer value? Integer variable? Yes, that is 4 bytes, is it? Yes, 4 bytes are allocating for an integer variable. So we can consider, just to consider in a memory address of 1000. Memory address, consider an address 1000. Okay. From this 1000, allocating for the space for this particular array. So I have to draw it neatly, okay. Here it is allocating some space for the array. So this is the first space. Address starts from 1000. So how many elements are there? 5 elements are there. First element position is 0th position. The next one 1. Then 2. Index position is 2. 3. And the last one is the 4th in this index position. Yeah, here this is a 4. So 0 to 4 is the subscript. Total number of elements is 5 for this array. Array name is m of. That is m is the array name. And its address starts from, just consider in the memory location. If the starting memory location of array m is 1000, then it will be represented in the memory as, here it will allocate first for the first 0th position, it will occupy 4 bytes. For this 4 bytes, because this is an integer data type, isn't it? For a single integer data type, it will allocate 4 bytes. So 1000 is okay. What from 1000 to 4 bytes it will allocate. So next one is 1004. The next one here again it is allocating 4 bytes for the first position value. Likewise, it will continue. Each element it will allocate 4 bytes according to that memory address. 4008, then 1012, the last one is 1060. So from 1000 starting address is 1000 and ending address is 1060. From this 1000 to 1060 it is allocated the space for this particular array m of. So how it will be, how the memory representation? For each element, it will allocate a corresponding data type. Which data type is specified in that particular array. According to that, how many bytes required for that particular data type, it will allocate that specific bytes for that each element in that array. Okay, you understood? If here this is an integer data type, that's why integer means 4 bytes are required for a particular variable in the memory. For that, just we are assuming address starts from 1000, then 5 elements means the address will end with 1060. That is 1000 to 1060. It automatically allocating for this variable, array variable m. 0 to 4 subscript. 0 to 4 is this index position of the subscript. So if in the case of character, just to consider character, grade, that is G, I am just giving grade equal to new char of 5. Okay, 8 we can. The same example from the reader. Okay, this is the example I have given, character. So you know that character means how many bytes are occupied? Yes, 2 bytes are occupied. So address starting from an address 5000 means from 5000 to how many elements will be there? 8 elements will be there. Subscript starting from 0 to 7. So you just imagine from 0 to 7 values are here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 0 to 7. Then the total elements are 8 and character in the sense 2 bytes are occupied for each character. So from 5000 is the first space, means memory address starting from 5000 and 0th position it will allocate 2 bytes. So next address is 5002, 5004, like this it will continue. Okay, so we can tell grade or G of 0 at the first allocated memory location. In this G of 0 means this is the value or element here, that is the first element is allocating in this which position? G of 0. Grade 1 at the next continuous memory location, grade 2 at the next continuous, like this it will go. And grade is a character, grade in the sense G is a character data type, that's why each element size is 2 bytes and it will be represented like this. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 0 occupies 2 bytes, that is 5000 to 5000, 2 bytes will occupy. The next grade 1 will occupy 2 bytes, that is 5002, like this it address will goes on. Okay, so 8 element character array beginning from the location 5000 and ends with that particular value. No particular location, how many, what is the 5000, 5002, 5004, 5006, 5008, 10, 12, 14. 5014 is the ending address of this particular array. This is the way of single dimension. How the memory will represent a single dimension array, this way it will represent. Okay, so all of you know how to declare an array. 3 ways we can do. If you want to declare 5 elements of integer data type, under the name, array name M means how we will declare? Yes, int M, that square bracket, semicolon. The next line we can assign M equal to new int of how many, what is the size? That is 5 elements. So we can write like this. So instead of writing these 2 statements, we can write in a single statement, that is one int subscript. We can write here M equal to new int of 5, or in another way we can write int M square bracket equal to new int of maximum value or the size of the array, how many elements it has to hold. That is representing here. Instead of these 2 statements, we are writing in either in the first way or in the second way we can write. Okay, then this is the array declaration. Next we can move to that array initialization, how the values are initialized in an array. So that is the initialization. In array initialization, we are like in an integer variable, single variable, how we will declare int a semicolon equal to 5, is it? Or we will write int a equal to 5. In the single line itself we will initialize the array. The same way we can do it here also. Here the same example here, M is the array name, so int M. So how to write? Initializing 5 values, 5 integer values means int M have to represent by the square brackets equal to, the values should be enclosed within its curly braces. While array initialization we have to write these curly braces and we have to give 5 elements. If it is 5 elements means give any values like this, 21, 15, 31, any 5 values you can give according to the okay. This is the way we will initialize the value. If in an array, if we want to initialize mean we have to use the curly braces. Inside the curly braces we can pass the values. We don't want to specify any size here. Directly we are passing the values. Directly we are assigning the values to this particular variable, array variable here. Okay. And here the position starts from 0. Is it 0? This is the first position, this is the second position, third position and the fourth position. And there are some examples like system.out.println of m of 2. What is output of m of 2? That means we have to write the element that representing the position 2 of this particular array. So m of 2 means which element is in that m of 2, that element we need to write. What is the element here? Yes, so the output is 15 is the output, is it? Yes. So another example, system.out.println of m of 0. So what is the subscript here? 0 is a subscript, and what is the value? M of 0 means the 0th position value or 0th position element we have to write as the output. So we can write it this as a 5. Is it? Yeah. In some cases it will ask like this, system.out.println of m of 5. So m of 5, that is the 5th index we need to display. Is there any 5th index in this example? No, only the index starting from 0 to 4 till 4, is it? Actually, how we will identify this index? That is 0 to n minus 1, number of elements minus 1, that is the last index. 0 to n minus 1 is the legal index of that particular array. If you are accessing any other elements out of this 0 to n minus 1, then it is an illegal array index. Is it? Illegal array index means it will show an error it will show an error message like array index out of bound exception. It will show an error like array index out of bound exception. It will show. So if any errors showing like this means what you have to understand, that is an illegal index has given. What do you mean by illegal index? That is, legal index means it will start from 0 to n minus 1. That is the legal index. Other than that, that are the illegal index. Okay? So a user is trying to access an illegal index element, then the compiler will show us an error message like array index out of bound exception. So here in this example only 5 elements, that means the index position starting from 0 to 4, only 4 is the last index position, and we can't access that 5th index element. That's why it shows an error like array index out of bounds exception. Okay, that is the subscript other than 0 to n minus 1 for an array having n elements are called out of bound subscript. So we can tell that subscript is known as out of bound subscript. What do you mean by out of bound subscript? Here this 5 is known as out of bound subscript. You can write like bounds subscript. So first of all, what is subscript is that we need to know. Okay, what is a subscript? Subscript means that value enclosed within the square bracket. What value we are giving here? Example m of 2 means 2 is the subscript or the index. We can tell that is the subscript or the index. That's right. Subscript or index value. Or we can tell that is the position also. So m of 2 means here 2 is the subscript or index of the array m. Then another one word is also there, that is known as subscripted variable. Subscripted variable. What do you mean by subscripted variable? Here in this example, what is the array name? M is the array name. So that variable is known as subscripted variable. That is m. M is known as subscripted variable. In the case of m of 2, as an example, consider m of 2. M is the subscripted variable and 2 is the subscript. If it is m of 5 means what is the subscripted variable? M is the subscripted variable and 5 is the subscript of that particular array. Clear? So for 2 mark question, identify the subscript and subscripted variable of the given array means you have to write. Subscript means the element, integer value that is specified within the square bracket is known as subscript, that is otherwise known as index of an array. Then subscripted variable means The variable associated with the subscript is known as subscripted variable. The variable associated with the subscript is known as subscripted variable. So here M is the subscripted variable. Okay, clear? So here in this case, out of bound subscript. What do you mean by out of bound subscript? Because we are trying to access an illegal index. Illegal subscript means that is known as out of bound subscript. That means other than 0 to n minus 1, any value we are trying to access other than 0 to n minus 1, then it shows us, then we can call it as a out of bound subscript. That particular subscript is known as out of bound subscript, and it will show an error is known as out of bound exception. That means the reference to an out of bound subscript produces an out of bound exception, and the program will crash if the exception is not handled. Clear? Okay, next we can see how to print these all elements. Actually, this is an initialization, array initialization, and we have initialized the 5 elements here. So all are integer data type, array name is M, and we need to print these all elements in the program. Means how will you write that concept? What is the coding of that? So you know that always the index starts from 0 and it ends with a 1, 2, 3, 4, is it till 4? So we can give according to that, we have to give that condition. So how? We will use the concept for loop. For integer I equal to 0, I less than till which value we need to go? This loop should repeat till I less than 5. 5 elements, actually 0 to 4. Then I plus plus. Then system dot out dot, we are printing the values, is it? So for that, system dot out dot println of array name. What is array name here? M is the array name. So we have to specify M of, we need to print each value, each position. Is it 0, then next 1, next 2, third position, fourth position, like this each values we need to print. So what is the concept? How to write it? M of I. We have declared I here inside the for loop. So we can write M of I. That means, then close the bracket. This is a statement to, it's here, print all the elements in that particular array. That means when I equal to 0, it will print the particular value of M of 0. Means what is the value of M of 0? Yes, it will print the element 5. The next again it will go here, and I plus plus means it is increasing the value, increasing the value of 5. Then now it becomes M of 1. What's the value of M of 1? 25. Element is 25. M of 2 like till M of 20, M of 4. M of 4 means 4th index position. It is the value 21 will print. Next again it will go M of 5, and it will check the condition 5 less than 5. No, the condition is false. That's why it will come out of the loop. So we will get the values from 5, 25, 31, 14, 21. Like these values it can be printed. So to print an array element, print the elements of an array, we have to use the concept for loop. Inside the for loop we will use this M of I. Okay. Okay, to print the elements in the reverse order. Example here 5, 25, 31, 14 and 21, is it? This order we have done it. Next we need to do in a reverse order. That is from 21, 14 like this. Reverse order means how to write the concept. Same for loop we will use. Inside the for loop we will specify with the starting last position. What is the last position of this particular array? I equal to 4. Then the condition I greater than or equal to 0, is it? Then I should minus minus. And only we will print like 4th element first, then the 3rd element, 2nd element, 1st element and 0th element. So for this we will write like this. Then we can write the system dot out dot println of M of I. So in this, if we are using this concept, or we are writing like this for to print the elements in the reverse order. That is the last index element, then I greater than or equal to 0, then I should minus minus. That is from the last element to it will come to till the 0 in the next. Okay. Let's see the output of this one. Okay, yes, here initialize the array m of equal to 5, 22, 34, 23, 56, 5 elements. And the concept scanner we don't want, just printing the value for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, and we are printing that m of 5. So how will be the output? Okay, let's see. This is the way it will print 5, 22, 34, 23, 56. So the program we have given like the same order 5, 22, 34, 23, 56. Okay. If you want to print in the reverse order, what we have to do here, we have to write it as 5. I greater than or equal to 0, then I minus minus. So what will be the answer? Yeah, it is. Yeah, here you can see one value or message. Array index out of bound exception. The same. What is this error? Array index out of bound exception. Index 5 out of bounds for the length 5. That means 5 is not there, is it? There is no particular index of 5, only till 4 is there. So we have to write here 4. So now the answer is okay. Clear? We have given it is in the reverse order, and here I have given I equal to 5 means actually there is no particular index of 5. Last index is 4. So from the 4th to the last first index 0, it will print. Okay. Now we know how to initialize the elements in an array, then how to print that particular array elements. Next, how to read the elements using the scanner class. How to read? You know that integer value means which statement we will use to read. The same statement we are using here. Scanner object is that all the statement you are writing. Then declare an array element here, array variable m equal m, same variable I am just using in new int of 5. I need maximum as 5 elements, that's why I am just giving as 5. Next we need to read using that scanner class. For that, for reading, we are just giving the you can give a message system.out.println, end the elements like one message you can give, no problem, to as a display message. Enter the elements. Next, inside the for loop, for printing also we have used the for loop. So you know the concept. It has to start from the first index position to the last index position, and it should print all the elements. Means we have to use this particular loop concept. So I equal to 0, I less than 5, from 0 to 4th position, I less than 5, I plus plus. So what is the statement you are using to read an array, read an integer element? Integer in the sense we will use, if it is a scanner means sc dot, we will create an object a scanner sc equal to new scanner of these all the things you know. Then how will you read a single integer variable sc dot sc dot next int of, is it? Sc dot next int of. In the same way we can write it here also, but instead of that single variable we will use this array name with this index. What is the value we have to pass it here? This is I, and this, so I we have to write m of I equal to sc dot next int of, m of I equal to sc dot next int of. So this is a statement to read elements in the array. So if you want, if it is a single statement, no need of, it's not compulsory to write this in the braces. More than one statement means compulsory to write this braces. Okay. So this is the way we will read an array elements. Okay. Int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus m of I sc dot next int of. And you remember the how to find the length of array? Yes. To find the length of array, we will use the statement array name dot length. Array name dot length. So what is array name here? M. So m dot length. So you have to specify it m dot length. L-E-N-T-H. Okay, there is no brackets or nothing. Just we are writing m dot length. Semicolon. So you can write int length equal to, or int L equal to m dot length. By this way, we are finding the length of the array. Length means total number of elements in that particular array. So instead of this 5, you can write till length also, is it? Yes. So these are the concept to read array, how to print array, how to initialize array, how to declare the one-dimensional array. Just now we have discussed about the one-dimensional. Yeah, we have a program to create a single dimensional array of 10 integers. Print the array elements in a single line with suitable tab space. So, you know how to create an array and how to display. Yes, just write the program import java.util.star semicolon. Then you have to give a class name. Listen, class array, class print array. Just I am giving print. Sorry, class print array. I have given a class name like this. Then what we have to write, public static void main of static void main of string args of also open the braces for the main method. Then you should, using the scanner class, we are reading this one-dimensional array of 10 integers. Is it? First of all, what we have to do, we have to declare that integer array. So you can declare an integer array. So just I am giving as example number no. Okay, the num of, it is an array. That's why we have to specify with the square brackets equal to new int of 10 integers means we have to specify maximum limit is 10. Then you can use the scanner class. Scanner is equal to new scanner of system.in semicolon. The next we can give a message as a display message. We need to print any message. We need to read the values, is it? So enter the numbers or input the number. Any message you can enter a number. So we have given this message. Then what is the next step? We need to read the values. Is it 10 values we need to read? That's why we are using the concept I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Inside the for loop, we are reading what is the statement. You can read by reading statement variable number. Num is the in array variable num of I equal to sc dot next int of semicolon. So in this for loop, reading value is over. Is it? Reading is finished. The next we need to print the value. How will you print? Again, that is another message I am just giving to, it is input, sorry, that is the output or display. Output is enough. Okay, output message. Then again for loop for printing the array values. You know that I equal to 0, I less than, same concept, is it? 10, I plus plus. For printing we will use the system.out.println instead of reading value. Control C, Control V, println of num of I. And one more thing, in this question they have specified print the array elements in a single statement, single line with suitable tab space. Means we don't want to specify this println. We have to use the print Z. Then only it will print the 10 elements in a single line. But we need some space also. Tab space means how will you give num of I? Give a concatenate symbol, that is plus. Then tab space means escape space, escape sequence /t we will use. That we have to use it. Okay, that's all. So we will finish this program. Okay, this is the way you have to write the program for the array. Array means first declaration part. You should do the declaration or initialization according to the program. If using the scanner class, we are reading means just declare it first. According to the maximum number of integers, we have to specify the size. The next you have to read using the for loop. We are reading the values, 10 elements we are reading. The next one, after reading the values, we need to print the value. For that printing also we will use this for loop concept. Okay. Okay, the next one is two-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array, in that first case is two-dimensional array. The array which creates memory locations row-wise and column-wise then it is known as two-dimensional array. So in one-dimensional array, it is a continuous memory location like this. We will write as a continuous memory location. Then in the case of two-dimensional array, have to consider the rows and columns. Rows and columns. So the syntax to write the array declarations. First one is the type. You consider that is an integer data type. For integer data type, you just writing integer data type. And array name is A means we have to specify two square brackets. One is for row, another one is for column. Equal to new int number of rows. How many rows we need? Consider 3 into 3 means 3 rows and 3 columns. If you want 3 rows and 3 columns, 3 and 3 we have to write. Okay, this is the way we will declare a two-dimensional array. Here in another example, 3 rows and 4 columns. Int r is the array name. So int r, 2 square brackets indicating rows and columns equal to new int 3. 3 is the number of rows and 4 is the number of columns. Okay, this is the way we will declare the two-dimensional arrays. So the number of elements in this two-dimensional array, how we will calculate the number of elements? Yes, we have to find by multiplying the number of rows into columns. Like consider m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns, means we will get number of elements equal to total number of elements equal to m into n. So in this above example, how many elements will be there in that particular array? 3 into 3, that is equal to 9 elements will be there. Is it? Yes. So number of elements in a two-dimensional array can be determined by multiplying number of rows with the number of columns. Another one example, A of number of rows is 7 and number of columns is 9 means how many elements will be in that particular array? 7 into 9. You should multiply the number of arrays, number of rows and columns. So we will get totally 63 elements will be in that particular array. So this is the way we will find the number of elements in two-dimensional array. You know how to find in the number of elements in the single dimensional array. Directly we are assigning some values, or we can just say we are new int of a of 5. So that is the number of elements, a of 5. Maximum size we are writing here. So total number of elements occupied by this single dimensional array is 5. If it is in the case of multi-dimensional, that is a two-dimensional array in the case, means we have to multiply the number of rows and number of columns. So next, how to initialize the two-dimensional array. You know how to initialize the one-dimensional array, is it? Yes, in the same format we can do for the two-dimensional array also. We are not specifying any number of rows and columns. We are just giving the values, directly assigning the values. And one more thing, in single dimensional array also we have done declaration in two ways, is it? First to this square bracket near to this one, like int square brackets, then we can write name s equal to new int, have to write the number of rows and number of columns. This format also. In another way, this square bracket should be, you can write like this, int s, after the array name it should be followed this square brackets. So, like in a one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array also we can do like this. Okay, this subscript. Here in the two-dimensional array, we have to specify two square brackets. That is a one to specify the number of rows and number of columns. Okay, let's look how the initialization of two-dimensional array. So in the initialization in single dimensional array, how we have initialized integer data array name, then the square bracket. We didn't specify any size. Directly we have given the values inside the curly braces. Inside the curly braces we have given the value and terminated with semicolon. The same way, two-dimensional array also we are specifying with two square brackets. Then you have to pass the values needed for, if we consider we need 2 rows and 3 columns, means we have to specify 2 rows value. Each row we have to write it in the curly braces. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, this is the first row, and then the second row again we have to start with the curly braces. I am just writing 3, 5, 6. So we have initialized that two-dimensional array. Now we can understand from the direct answers directly. This is the row 1, first row, and this is the second row. So 2 rows having 3 columns, 1, 2, 3 columns. Okay, this is the way we will initialize two-dimensional array. Okay, let's look how the value will arrange in the memory. Okay, that is a memory representation of the two-dimensional array. The values are 1, 2, 3. This is the first row, row 0. That is the first row, R0. Then second row means R1, is it? Or totally 2 rows are there, 3, 5, 7. And how many columns? 3 columns. So we can consider this 3 column as C, first column, that is C, 0th index, 1 and 2. This is row wise and column wise concept. 2-dimensional means data are entered in a rows and columns dimension, column wise, or 2 rows and column wise. So here, how, just an example, you need to print, just listen. You need to print the value, print the element of the particular position. That is, array name is, consider this array name is A. So A of, I need to print the value of 1 and 0. From this, what you can understand, we need to print the value or print the element of the corresponding position of the first row. That is, the index of that row is 1 and the index of the column is 0. Index of the row is 1 means this row, is it? First row. Yeah, sorry, second row. The index is 1, then 0th position of column. Column base, it is the 0th position. So actually, what is the element belongs to R1 and C0? That is, the element is 3. Consider another value, we need to print A of 1 and 1. That means the row index is 1 and column index is also 1. Row is 1 and column is 1. So the element is 5. Like this, okay? This is the way we will write the elements and the particular position of the two-dimensional array. If you want to print the value of A of 0 and 2, always remember the first case is the row, the second one is the column. 0 and 2 means how you can write 0 is the first row and 2 means that is the last index column. Is it? So the value again here we are getting is 3. Okay. This is the way we will write that particular two-dimensional array elements with the corresponding row index and column index. Okay, how to find the length of two-dimensional array? You know how to find the length of one-dimensional array. In the case of one-dimensional array, and just consider we have an array name array A, and we have given some values. Okay, these are things we have done. How will you write the statement for find the length of the array? Array name dot length. There is no brackets or parentheses. We don't follow any brackets here or parentheses. Just you have to write the statement A dot length. Length semicolon. Yes, sir. This is the statement. Using the same statement we can do for the two-dimensional array also. Consider this two-dimensional array A. Two values, and we are initializing some values. Consider we have 2 rows and 3 columns. Or okay, 2 rows and 3 columns. So you know how to fill the values for 2 rows. 2 rows means we have to write 2 rows, 3 columns. 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay, this is the first row, and next row is 4, 5, 6. This is the second row. So you know this is the way we will initialize two-dimensional array. And here this is the R1. This is the R2. That is 2 rows are there and 3 columns are there. So, yes, to find the length, we are just finding the length in a variable len means how to write the statement A dot length. A dot length. Semicolon. And what is output of this two-dimensional array means it will consider only the number of rows. How many rows are here? That only it will consider. So how many rows are here? Only 2 rows are there. So what is the length of this particular array? Array equal to length equal to 2, because it will consider only the number of rows. It won't consider the number of columns or total number of elements. It will only consider. If you want to find the length of two-dimensional array means you have to write the number of rows in that particular two-dimensional array. Number of rows equal to length of two-dimensional array. Okay. How to find that And total number of elements, yes, total number of elements means we need to find number of elements. Total number of elements means we know if m number of columns and n number of rows means we will write the formula m into n. Like this means in this above example, what is the number of elements in this example, in this array? Number of element row into column, that is 2 into 3 equal to 6 elements will be there, equal to 6 elements, but the number of length means only the number of rows you have to write it for the 2-dimensional array. Okay, let's see how to print the 2-dimensional array, what we initialized. Yes, initialization part we have done, and 2 rows and 3 columns values are here. We know what is the total number of elements and what is the length of this 2-dimensional arrays. Okay, next we are going to print that 2-dimensional array elements. How to print? In the 1-dimensional array we have used a single for loop, and inside that we have called, inside the for loop we have printed, is it? Here 2-dimensional array means rows and columns we have to find using. That's why we are using I equal to 0, I less than, how many rows are there? Only 2 rows are there, so I less than 2, I plus plus. Inside the for loop, inside the I loop, I is first one is representing this is number of rows. This is indicating the row. Open the braces, then you have to write the concept for the column. Is it? Yes, for that we are using 2-dimensional array, 2 for loops are using I equal to 0. And how many columns are there? 3 columns. So how we can write j less than 3 and j plus plus will be the, okay. Then inside this for loop, this is a nested for loop, is it? Inside this we are just using the scanner that all you are writing, and consider we have declared, we are initializing the variable a. So how to print the value? Sorry, this is for printing, so we don't want the scanner, just for printing. So a of square bracket I and j, a of I j, sorry, system dot out dot println of, for printing system dot out dot println of a of I j. So by this statement we will print the 2-dimensional elements. This is a statement. So for indicating the row wise, we are just using the I concept, outer loop, inner loop is indicating the column wise. Okay. So when I equal to 0 and j equal to 0, it will print the values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the elements. You know the position, how to represent the positions also. R0, R1, here 0th position, 1, 2. So when I equal to, this is I, this is j. When I equal to 0 and j equal to 0, it will print the value as 1. Then again it will, first it will complete that inner loop. You know that nested loop means first it has to complete that inner loop, then only it will go to the outer loop. You said first j equal to 0, I equal to 0 and j equal to 0. Next after that printing, first it will print 1, after that it will move to j plus plus, j is increasing, that position is 1. 1 less than 3, yes, the condition is true. So I equal to 0 and j equal to 2. So it will print the second element as 2, like this 3, again the next element as 3, then again it will come j equal to plus plus. So condition become false, then it will go to that I loop. After executing this inner loop, when it comes to false, it will come out of this j loop and it will increase that I loop. So yes, that concept you know, that inner loop concept, outer loop, nested loop concept you know, according to that it will do. So for printing 2-dimensional array, we need 2 loops. Nested for loops are there, just to print it a of ij. So you can imagine how to read that scanner class, or how to read this 2-dimensional array. Is it? Yes, how we will read, use the scanner class, everything, and int a of some value. I need to read 2 rows and 2 columns means a of new int number of rows is 2. I have to write square bracket 2. Then next number of columns is 3. This is the array declaration, 2-dimensional array declaration. Then we will read the value. For that we will use the loop for I equal to 0, the same loop I equal to 0. I less than number of rows. How many rows are there? 2 rows are there. So I less than 2, I plus plus. Inside the for loop, I loop, we are just writing another loop, that is j equal to 0, j less than 2, j less than 3, because number of columns are 3, that's why 3 j plus plus. Inside this, how will you write? Using the scanner class statement to read an integer, how will you read an integer? A of ij. Is it A of ij equal to sc dot next int of sc dot next int of. So this is a format we are reading two-dimensional array, and just to close the nested loops. Okay, this is a format to read a two-dimensional array, and above we have printed two-dimensional array, and this one using the scanner class we have written the statement to read two-dimensional. Next, to find the total number of bytes required for a single dimensional array. In the single dimensional array, total number of bytes how we will find means using this formula, size of array into size of data type. That is an example here, int a of 10. So what is the size of the array? 10 is the size of the array. So yes, we need to find the total number of bytes required for this particular array means we have formula size of array into size of data type. So size of data type means integer. Integer means how many bytes are occupied by an integer variable. You know that 4 bytes. So that value 10 into 4, that is equal to 40 bytes are occupied by this particular array. So how we will find the total number of bytes? This is important for 2-mark question. Find the total number of bytes required for the given array means we have to use the formula size of array into size of data type. Next one, total number of bytes required for two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array means size of array. In the case here we have to consider number of rows and number of columns. Is it? Yeah, number of rows and number of columns multiply with that size of data type. Number of rows into number of columns into size of data type. So here an example, B 5 and 3. 5 means what? Number of rows. 3 means that is number of columns. So we have to multiply number of rows and number of columns into size of the data type. Here integer is the data type, that's why 4 bytes will be there. So 5 into 3 into 4 equal to 65. Just to consider character, one character data value of 3 into 2. Or 3 rows and 2 columns. It's what is the total number of bytes required for this particular array? Total number of bytes means 3 into 2. Row into column into number of data type size means 2 bytes. That's why what is the value? 12 is the answer. 12 bytes required for that particular array. So these are the important concept of one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. Okay. Thank you all of you. If you have any doubt, please